whatnot, so we'd be framing these damaged photographs. So it's been a nice little outlet for us to do that, to help these, to help our customers get new photographs from the damaged ones, and it's been a lot of fun doing it.
Now, when you say damaged, does that mean it's just old, or does that mean it's ripped, or? Anything.
I mean, it could be just old. It could be faded. We had one that was almost completely faded out. We had to ask the customer, what color was the boy's shirt and pants and hair and eyes. You could barely see the figure. So from that to ripped and torn and missing pieces, pictures where the wedding couple wanted somebody removed because they didn't like the person in the background, so we could remove them. We could add people. It's anything. Anything goes pretty much.
Oh, that sounds great. I know a family member or two that I didn't know you could actually take people out of the picture.
Yeah, when people find that out, they get happy about that.
That I don't know. Somehow, I should stop now. I might have family members listening. But I can think about that. No, I actually have a picture that sits in my kitchen of my grandmother, who I grew up with and was very, very close with. And there is a picture of her in her apron in our kitchen growing up that my mother had for years. And on my birthday last year, I received it in the mail, the original picture. But I did notice that it is the colors are starting. It's from 1980 something. Late 70s, early 80s, and even on a picture that really doesn't seem that old, the colors are starting to run a little bit.
Yeah, it depends on of course, where you have it, how it's been exposed to light and whatnot. Photographs do fade. So, they can lose their color depending on the process that was done to print the photograph. That can cause problems as well.
Okay. Well, do you have any of this on your website, or just if we have people that are, listening, perhaps in Wisconsin, who say, I'd love to get that done to an old photo.
We actually have a page on our website for photo restoration. It shows different images that have been restored from, it shows the original damaged piece and then the restored version. And then it also shows some what we call photo to art techniques, where we've taken a photograph and transferred it to, or printed it on canvas and made it look like a painting. We've got one that's for pop art, so you have like that Andy Warhol look to it as well. So a lot of different images on there that'll show some, the examples.
Okay, and for everybody that happens to be sitting at your computer, and I know you're sitting at your computers, guys, Rob's website is www.theframedimage, THEFRAMEDIMAGE. Oh, my God, it's too many letters. Theframedimage.com. And you'll see everything, and you'll be able to take a look at, you can click on photo restoration. There's also something that that Rob and I actually didn't talk about when we were together, because maybe he thought I was going to let him off the hook. But I'm not letting him off the hook. And that is something called Artworks.
Artworks.
Right. Rob does. Okay, Rob doesn't want to tell, so I will. Rob does some work with children and framing their work.
Yeah, Artworks.
That's not Artworks. I'm mixing them up.
Yeah, nope, you're right. Artworks. That's Artworks. It's run by a woman called Daniela Mendelson, and her. Oh, I think it was her cousin quite a few years back, probably in 2001, 2000, died of, I think it was children's leukemia. And she gave up a pretty lucrative career in New York and decided to start going to area hospitals, to the kids' units, and with kids with life-threatening illnesses. And she was taking their artwork from their art therapy classes and whatnot and having an art show. And it was twice a year, and she was getting them framed by a friend of mine, and then my friend was closing up shop and retiring, and she passed it on to me. And so twice a year we frame anywhere from 60, 70, up to 100 pictures that kids have painted or drawn, or poems that they've written while in the hospital getting treatment for their illnesses, mostly cancer. And then, again, twice a year there's a show where half the day is the artwork is displayed, and the kids come in with their family and friends, and they look at their artwork all framed up and hanging on the walls. And then the second half of the show is a more of like an entertainment where one of the kids or a family member, whatever, will sing or dance or recite a poem. It's just an amazing, amazing day.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't leave there with several soaked tissues and basically crying completely, there's something wrong, because it is just so inspiring and so it makes you appreciate life and all the good things that you have.
Wow, and appreciate your kids, appreciate their health. Sometimes your kids make you crazy, but you see a sick child and you say, the child's making me crazy right now, but he or she is well.
Exactly. It really makes you appreciate life.
Well, we love, it's one thing, and I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I apologize, but I realized it was one thing we didn't talk about. But it is something that, people who are involved in the art world, and I kind of, the art world is a very big world. It's people that, work with fibers and threads and paint, and, it's really across, music, people who work, across the borders. And those people tend to get involved with organizations that tend to do a lot of good. And, sometimes it's on a huge scale, and sometimes it's just helping, a small group of people that without them, their lives would not be the same.
Right.
So that's why we do like to talk about that, and you are obviously one of those people. And for anybody who is interested in more information about this foundation, they have a website, and you can go to that at www.artworksfoundation.org, and it's one word, guys. It's ARTWORKS foundation.org. All right. So we just wanted to make sure that we did talk about that, and give the kudos to you. I know you're not good at speaking up about that, but we want to thank you for that.
I thank you for bringing it up, because it is very important to me, and it was nice of you to do that. Any help that they can get, like I said, it's run by basically two women. Daniela is one of them, Kristen's the other, and they do a lot, and it's just amazing to see these kids just glow when they see their artwork framed, and when they're up there dancing and singing, and the entertainment is just amazing, and it's just the kids are just so thrilled to get away from the pain for one day. So thank you for bringing it up.
Well, so now we need to talk about a couple of things that I know that I got all these people yelling. I can hear them yelling, by the way, through the Internet. And they're saying, but wait, you promised that you would tell us whatever needle worker needs to know before they walk into their framer. First of all, Rob, how did you fall into framing needlework and blocking and all of that?
Just regular customers started coming into the shop with needlepoint to be framed, mostly cross-stitch at first, and none of them seemed to work on stretcher bars, so they were coming in a little off square and whatnot. So, again, through the Framing Association, we learned how to block the work and stretch it properly, and then started framing with that. And then a regular customer of mine introduced me to Tony Manieri, and Tony started coming into the shop, so we really had to kick up our abilities with him, and just enjoyed that and learned a lot more through him about your industry and the different fibers and the different canvases and the different textures and different stitches and et cetera, et cetera. So Tony played a big part in this as well.
Okay, and so tell me, what's different about framing? And we're going to actually, I think we should probably focus more on needlepoint. So because this way we know we're dealing with canvas as
right.
opposed to fabric, okay? Is there anything, so I have my finished piece, and I'm taking it, and I have a 40% off coupon at Michael's, so I'm going to Michael's with it now. And tell me why I shouldn't go to and I don't want to say we shouldn't go to Michael's. Michael's is a great place. I'm going to get sued. No, that's not what I mean. Why should I walk into somebody who perhaps doesn't have the experience you have? What do you know differently about it than someone else does?
A lot of times, and I don't like to speak bad about Michael's because there are a couple of shops that I know of that I know the framer, and they're really good framers. It's just a question of the customer, of you knowing who you're dealing with, what the framer's knowledge is. And by going to a lot of Michael's shops, you're dealing with kids who are, part-time jobs, or, somebody who's retired and just wants a part-time job, as opposed to going to a smaller frame shop, your local mom and pop shop or whatnot. This is their job. This is their profession, and they need your